Well, hello, all of you beautiful people out there in Minecraft land. How are you today? I, as you might imagine, am fantastic! Thank you so much for asking. Did you ask? I hope you asked. Anyway, welcome back to another very exciting episode on the IgnitorSMP server. My name is Vid. And in the last episode, we started collecting some turtles and some turtle scoots because we wanted to make the Potion of the Turtle Master, and more specifically, one step in the journey to collect every single potion in the game. In a previous episode, we signed up for this, the Impossible Challenges, and if you recall, we received 4 very difficult challenges. The first one was to build an escape room with redstone. The second one was to create a village in the end, start a raid and win. We did already complete that challenge on September the 2nd. I'm going to skip this one, and the last one was Gamer, make one game or play one game each week, and that is every week until the contest is over. The third one, of course, is make all potions in the game, and that is our collection challenge, and that is what I'm going to be working on today. But of course, to collect every single potion in the game, I'm going to need some very special ingredients. So let's do a little bit of a montage to collect those ingredients. And first, of course, we have to come over to our turtle farm and collect these things right here. These are turtle scoots, and these you get when a baby turtle grows up into an adult turtle. It drops one of these. Phantom Membrane! Ooh, that guy took a chomp out of me. Did you hear that? Phantom Membrane! Got it! From this guy over here, we're gonna need some redstone and some glowstone. And from one of these guys, we're gonna need some glistering melon. Of course, we need a few blaze rods. Youch! And we should grab some gas tears. Ow. Got it. I'm also gonna need some rabbit's feet, so yeah, you might want to look away. There, I finally got my rabbit's foot, and luckily I only had to kill one single rabbit. And after all that, we return to our base with all of the ingredients that we have collected, as well as a bunch of glass bottles, and we start our brewing.
6 hours later.
Yes, it has been about 6 hours since the last clip, and I have been busy. 6 hours of game time. It's actually been about 2 or 3 days of working on all of this stuff. And check it out! In the last episode, I set this up, and I don't know if you remember, but all of these lamps were off, and now they are all on. So if I pick any random potion over here, let's look at poison, for example. If I look in here, I should have the regular potion of poison. Plus, I have the splash potion of poison and the lingering potion of poison. So that is all of the variants of the poison potion. But if you take the base potion of poison and you add redstone to it, you actually end up with the poison plus potion, which is this one right here. And you can also make a splash version of that and a lingering version of that. But if you then take the base potion of poison and add glowstone instead, you get a potion of poison too. And guess what? I have the poison 2 potion, the splash poison 2 potion, and of course the lingering potion of poison 2. And so that means we can return to the Impossible Challenges area and look at my little barrel here where I have make all potions of the game, and let's add this. Collect all potions. That is completed September the 11th, because that is the day that I finished that quest. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, congratulations, you've completed 2 of your 4 quests and another fantastic episode. Well, guess what? I've got another big thing to do. And that big thing is, of course, to build another casino game, because that's what I do around here. I build casino games. In fact, I've already laid out not only my project area right here, but also here's a little sneak peek. I actually have the schematic preloaded already. This is a Lightmatica schematic, in case you guys are not familiar with it. So this is a machine that I built in creative mode, and then I built a schematic out of it, and now it's over here ready to build, and the red blocks you're seeing there are actually the blocks that need to be replaced. There's also a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm not going to show you quite yet. See if you can guess what this machine's going to be while I build it. Let's hit that time lapse. Time lapse, and guess what? I not only finished the machine, but I also did a little bit of decorating. Added the floor, added all kinds of neat decorations to this. I don't know why I didn't do this when I built the machine in creative. I should have done the decorating there as well. I just didn't think of it. So I ended up with a very bland looking machine until I sort of started playing around here. And now I think it looks really good. It's got the lights, it's got the VidCoin in there. Let me show you how this machine works. So this machine is called Spin the Lights, and then according to the instructions, insert your VidCoin, press the button to play. If it stops in the middle, you win. So pretty easy game. So I'm just going to throw some VidCoin in here and then push the button, and we will watch it happen. And in the middle. Come on, stop in the middle. Almost. Ah, I missed. Okay. So the server is a little bit laggy today. That normally happens a little bit faster, but anyway, I missed. I'm going to play one more time and see if I can win. And there we go. Not gonna lie, it did take me a few tries to actually win that. But when you win, you do get 3 VidCoins back, and that is a pretty sweet deal. I think people are gonna have a lot of fun playing this machine. The machine is now open at Vid's Golden Carrot Casino. Several weeks ago, Total Thomas Man asked me to move a bunch of villagers over into this area right here so that I could make some new stonemasons for him. And guess what? I completely forgot. I went ahead and moved a bunch of villagers over, and then, I don't know, my mind blanked and I forgot that these guys were supposed to be masons. The tracks are still here and everything, so I need to get a whole bunch more masons. So, like, maybe there's 4 here. I think I should get another 4 masons and put them right there. Maybe, maybe 6. Yeah. And that means taking a ride over to our severely overcrowded villager breeder. Holy moly! What is even happening right now? I have to question whether or not I should turn this thing off or just keep it running. I mean, come on. This is kind of funny, right? Alright, so I've turned the sound down, and now it's time to see what it's going to take to actually get a villager or 2 out of here. So let's start by ringing the bell, because that'll make them all move over this way. Then I should, with any luck, be able to just grab like a single guy, and out we go. Yep. See? No problem. I know I've already showed this part before, but I thought I would actually show it again because this is basically a very easy way to get villagers to do what you want them to do. Just move them in, and then this actually does work a little bit better at night because they have a tendency to want to get into a bed. But if you just put like a bed up here, you see the little green particles? He knows. It's like, ooh, there's a bed up there. And then you just keep going up, 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 up. And then once they get up to the top, they kind of want to join their friends and they jump into the water and then they cannot get out. Done. Just like that. Now the next part is the rails. Now I know I've shown this whole rail thing again, but I wanted to show it again because there's a little bit of a twist. So got my villager in a minecart. Ooh, rain. And I'm going to come down here, and you can see now the villager comes down, goes around and down and around and gets popped off into the right perfect place. You might be asking yourself, why didn't I just take the rail down, do a little bit of a zigzag here, and then right in this way? It would have saved me a whole bunch of track, right? Well, the reason is, again, these activator rails. When a minecart comes along and hits one of these powered activator rails, and especially if there's a trapdoor just above it like this, the villager will be popped out always to the right. And he'd end up on this little trapdoor here, and then he'd be free and he'd be wandering around the Trader's Haven. And I don't want that. I want him in. That's why we go the other way. And if we come in this way, you can see when they're popped off to the right, they end up right in the spaces they need to be. And here comes the last guy all the way along to complete my collection. And this guy will pop right in there. And now I can take all of these rails away. And you might be wondering, why don't these guys walk out when the rails are no longer in place? Maybe you're not wondering that, but even if you are wondering that, it's because these trapdoors. You can see the trapdoors are actually just at the top of what would be a block that was at the same height as their head. So you can see they can't actually get out anywhere. They think they can get out, which is why they're able to pathfind to their workstations. That's what these things are called. But they can't really get out. You do need to make some considerations when you're turning these guys into a particular profession, but I'll show you that in a minute. So when you're trying to assign a profession to a villager, or even when you're trying to cycle the professions of the villager to try to get better trades, the trick is to block the pathfinding or to manage the AI of the pathfinding of the villagers so that you don't have any issues. Let me show you what I mean. So let's take this villager, for example. If I were to drop a workstation down right here, and I'm not gonna do that yet, and I'll show you why in a second, you'd think that this guy will immediately grab whatever workstation is down in front of him because he is the closest to it. That's not the way pathfinding works in Minecraft. It will actually be a random villager that can pathfind to this block that doesn't have another profession. Most often it will be the closest villager, but not always. So you have to be aware of that. Now here's the funny thing. You see how these trapdoors are up here, and remember how I mentioned before that this doesn't actually block their pathfinding. The villagers don't believe this is a real block, even though physically they are restrained, they can't move past it. This workstation here, this obviously it's a piece of dirt, but if I were to place a workstation here, not only would this villager be able to access it, but all of these villagers would then see that and be able to pathfind to it. And any one of them might actually choose it as the workstation. So the trick here then is to place a workstation down, but to block the pathing from every other villager. So let me do this. This is the most effective way I've found to do it. So basically you just do something like this, and then something like this. So you've basically sealed yourself in. There is nowhere else for this guy to go. Now there is one other weird thing that happens here, because if I were to place a workstation down right here, suddenly this villager thinks he could step up on top of that and get out to any other place. And the other villagers think the same thing. They might be able to actually see that workstation. And so you sometimes have to do this as well, just to like really seal yourself in. Now, this is the best chance I have to actually assign this guy a job. And usually when you click it, or when you put the workstation down, he should take the job almost immediately, assuming it's not actually night out. Sometimes you gotta fight with these guys a little bit. You gotta kick them around, move their pathfinding. You know, maybe if you've got a setup like I have here, you drop them down. You know, you kick them around a little bit in there. Then you can raise them back up again. And hopefully that has disrupted their AI enough that when you put the workstation down, they should claim it, there you go, instantaneously. And there we go. I have now unlocked all of these villagers, and Total Thomas Man should be happy because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 masons all upgraded to master level, so they sell the quartz blocks, exactly what he is after.
2 days later.
Alright, it has been about 2 days since the last clip, and I had just finished loading all of these masons in and realized I still had a few slots left over for villagers over here, so I thought, you know what, why not go ahead and fill up all of these slots with villagers? And then I realized, you know what, while I'm at it, why don't I just fill up every slot in the entire trading hall with villagers? And then I thought, you know what, while I'm at it, why don't I just unlock every single book trade that exists? And so that is pretty much exactly what I have done. Over here, behind me, you can see I still have a whole bunch of villagers. I guess, what? I have 12 in this little row, and 3 of them are used, so that means 9. 9 villagers that don't have any professions that can be turned into pretty much anything I need over the course of the rest of the season, or whatever anybody else needs for that matter. But look at this. I have gone ahead and relabeled all of these guys above with new signs, and you'll notice that little C1 up there. And also, this guy behind me has nothing good. That's kind of funny. But then here, we've got B16 all the way down to over here, which should be B1. Yep, here I go. B1. And then over here, we've got A16 all the way down. I probably should have done these in order. So this is row A, then we have row B, and then behind me is row C, and then we have rows D and E. And what does that mean? Well, if I come over here and I actually look at all of the books we have for sale, you can see I now have little codes, C2, D12, D11, C6, E5, C8. What does that mean? That actually refers to the villager that I traded with to actually get this trade. So let me pick a random trade over here. Let's see, Lure 3. Let's say I wanted Lure 3, but I know I'm a member. I'm a member of Trader's Haven, so I think, well, I could buy a Lure 3 book for 2 diamonds. And by the way, every book's in stock. Or, now that I know E2, I can go straight to the E2 villager because that's the one that I can trade with. So what I would do is I would locate the E section, and this is the E section over here. Here is E1, and then that means this is E2. And there he is, Lure 3. And I could just go down and trade with this guy, and obviously his trade sucks, but hey, I could get Lure 3 directly from this guy. Now, I didn't bother doing the same thing with the armorers or weaponsmiths or toolsmiths, basically because there's only a few of them, and it's pretty easy to go through each of them to determine what you're looking for. Obviously, if you're looking for armor, you've only got to go through 4 villagers. If you're looking for a diamond pick, you've only got to go through 4 villagers. You should get the idea for how to do that. And by the way, while I was busy doing this between the last couple days, something really crazy happened. Somebody was over here, and I guess a drowned came up and got in and then infected one of the villagers, and then the zombie infection spread through all of the villagers, and basically they all died. So this whole place was empty, and then we had to kill all of the zombies that were in here. But then, something really interesting happened. And that is that the server lag went completely down to almost nothing. So I guess all of the troubles we've been having over the last couple days with our server lag have been caused by my massive amount of villagers that have been breeding up here. So I think I'm going to stop the villager breeder from working and kind of hold it in this state right here so that there's only a few villagers. And then obviously I can turn the breeder back on anytime I want to. All it takes is just to remove a couple blocks, put the villagers back into a breeding state, and then I can get as many as I need. And that is now done. I have installed this lever right here, which, as you can see, will just open up a set of blocks and then close a set of blocks, effectively blocking the path from the villagers that are in the little farm breeder-ish thing over there to the beds. They can't get to the beds. They think they can't get to the beds anyway, and that basically means they won't breed. While I was over here doing some redstone, I decided to also do the similar improvement anyway up to this iron farm, and I installed an on-off switch. So yeah, there you can see it's on and it's off. So a little bit of iron when I want it, but no iron when I don't, which is great because then I won't have my iron farm crazy overflowing. And that, my friends, is where I am going to end this episode. I have done quite a bit with villagers this week. I have also done quite a bit with gaming and other stuff. Lots of stuff. Thanks so much for watching. And if you guys liked this episode, you know what to do. Click the like button. And if you hated it, well, keep it to yourself. Anyway, I'll see you in the next episode.